Hey, this is Urge to Game, and with me is the number 5 Wigglytuff player in the world, SpinningNova. Welcome!
Hello.
So, I gotta ask you some questions because being number 5 Wigglytuff player in the world, according to the online leaderboards as of this recording, that is a phenomenal feat. Even I can't do that, and I'm just a guy. So, let's get to know you a bit. Tell us, what got you into Pokemon Unite?
I'm a huge fan of MOBAs. Like, huge Dota fan. I watch it all the time. I tried to play it. I probably spent like 300 hours and to be absolutely horrible at it. But I love watching the pros play. So I probably have thousands of hours of watching MOBA. So this was my chance to play an easier version of MOBA, which it's my favorite game type, but I've just not ever had the time to commit to being good at any of the other ones. So that's why I bought a Switch just for it.
So, I mean, how long are Dota 2 matches typically?
Yeah, they can be, well, in the bad rank where I was, they can be a long time. They can be a really painful, like, hour and a half. Typically, I guess, they're probably like 45 minutes. It's a time commitment I don't have, so that's what I like about Unite. It's like 10-minute commitment, you're done. I like that. You can go play couple games, 3 games, it's half an hour, done.
I totally agree. I love that 10-minute timer. Now, my next question for you. I'm sure everyone will ask you this. Spill the beans, Nova. How did you reach rank number 5 on your Wigglytuff?
Very painfully in solo.
Just solo queue?
So mostly solo queue, a lot of duo queue, but I would say the majority of it was solo queue. Very painful being a support and trying to get that ranking because everyone, I know I checked the stats, at least the top 5 when I was trying to get to the number 5 position, all play with groups. So it's hard to compete because since ranking is a combination of your percentage win and number of games won. I can't beat 70% win rate in solo queue. That's just, cause solo queue is a coin flip. It's win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. So it was a painful climb. Luckily, I have people that help me in duo to get climbing up a little bit. When I get a bad series of 10 losses in a row, it's up to, you never know what you're gonna get. And it's because you can't really, there really is no carry in this game, period. There's no one person can't carry the game, but you tend to have a little bit more control if you're an attacker role versus a support role. So it's a little more painful. I try to help my attackers. Sometimes they just don't want to level, I guess.
You can say it. Sometimes they suck.
I'm kind of baffled sometimes. Like, what are you doing? Are you throwing on purpose?
Yes.
Yes. There was a lot of raging on my side.
Dang.
Climb up. Hold on.
So let me ask you this. Do you think you will ever reach number 1 Wigglytuff?
No, I can't go any higher than 5. I can never ever pass the top 4 because they play with groups.
Oh, you think they play in a group of 5 people?
I'm pretty sure. There's no way you could have that percentage rate on Wigglytuff and not be playing with a group.
So true.
It really is like, it's a 50-50. I mean, people may go, oh, 50%, that sucks. Well, you go try and do solo queue for 4,000 games on a support character and see what your win percentage is.
Dang.
It's a 50-50. I wish there was better matchmaking. I mean, even yesterday, I was on a team going solo queue with 2 of us were masters and 3 were ultra. And I mean, I'm around 1900. I shouldn't be matched with ultra players. So again, it's the randomness of matchmaking that's really weird, and I don't understand it.
So, okay, what is it about, just say, one thing you like about Unite, but that isn't in Dota 2?
I mean, it's much more simplistic. I wouldn't say that there's something that isn't in Dota that's in Unite. It's what's not in Unite that's in Dota. You don't have buying items. There's very limited choice in builds in Unite. I mean, it's just, there isn't a lot of variation in what you can do with a character versus what you can do in like, but I mean, versus what you can do in Dota. But in some ways, that makes it nicer and simpler. I think it's a great starter MOBA. And hey, if you want to go and do one of the more complex ones, great. You know, it's just a whole new level when you're having to buy items and character. Even just one specific character can have just infinite number of builds. But that comes, game knowledge. You've got to know what the items do. You've got to know every single one of the characters. In Dota, there's hundreds. So, that's a lot to know. Starting out, we're lucky that Unite is so new that there just aren't that many characters. And if you've been starting, from the beginning, you've had to learn a character every month. Like, that's about it. It's not like it's been... Even coming in right now, there aren't so many characters that wouldn't be hard to learn what they all do, to know what to expect in lane. With League of Legends and Dota, they've been around so long. There's so many characters. To come in and to learn that, it's just mind-blowing. Like, that's a lot of characters to understand. It's a learning curve that requires way too many hours than I have.
Have you tried League of Legends?
I went in practice mode. The thing is, I know the Dota characters because I follow that and I watch it a lot. I'm familiar with the characters, even though I don't feel like my knowledge is like enough to be really good in it. League of Legends, the reason that it turned me off is because that's a whole new set of characters I gotta learn and what their skills are. And again, you still have the builds and stuff. It's not as complex. It's like a little less than Dota, but still, that's still a learning curve that I just don't have the time to commit to.
Gotcha.
That's why I liked Unite, because like, hey, I can play my favorite genre without the time commitment and the requirement of having to learn such a library of information.
Nice. All right, that's cool. Now, in case there are any Pokemon Unite devs watching, here's the big question. What feedback would you give to this game? Surely you must have a list of possible complaints or things that Dota 2 has done right that you want to see in Unite improve on? What do you say? Matchmaking's
just awful. And I get it. I don't know how you differentiate because there isn't the complexity that these other games have. There isn't a huge skill range in a player. Like, you've got 4 moves to learn on the character. There's not a lot of variety. So I get it that it's hard to match them, but there's got to be something that they can track that says this person, always does objectives, does some scoring, has some kills, like something more than just your rating, which you could just be lucky. And, if you play enough, you get to a certain level in Masters without really being good. And the MVP, they need to get away with that because it rewards people that do backcapping and really bad things. And it makes them think they've done something good when they haven't. And that needs to go away or be measured in a different way. Because the people that kills me when someone goes and basically loses the game in the last 2 minutes because they go in backcap and cause us to lose. And they get MVP because they scored the most goals. So what does that tell them in the feedback? They did a good job? Or are they doing it because they want the MVP? So they forget it, win or lose. I want the MVP and that's what's important. I just feel like it's a bad rating. And matchmaking, there's just got to be some way that they can make it a little bit better. I don't think that you should have the range that you have of being able to play with people. I think it should be 1 level up and 1 level below you. I think it's 2 that allows. It's too much of a gap. Masters should not be playing with veterans, in my opinion.
Oh, I totally get it.
Just because it makes, if they try and even up the match, it just makes it difficult. It makes it a difficult game for the veterans because you've got Masters in there that have more experience. I mean, theoretically. I think people there are still bad players in Masters. But I don't think it's fair for either one. I think it needs to be closer. I get it. I know there's not a whole huge player base. I know because I see the same people over and over again that I get matched with, which tells me there's not a big pool, and that's probably why they do it. But it just seems like there could be something a little bit better. Just tweak it, make it just a little bit better. I've been in matches in Masters where there are literally, it looks like somebody has handed the controller over to their 5-year-old, and this person is just wandering the map like they've never seen it before.
Oh,
I don't think that you should see that in Masters rank.
Seriously.
Seriously. Like, they literally didn't do anything. They were literally wandering the map as if it was a toddler just exploring the map and had no idea what they were doing.
That might have been me. Sorry.
Literally, the only thing I can think of is somebody handed their controller to a kid.
Dang.
And I don't know. I don't know how you explain how those people are in the match. That's the kind of people I tend to get.
Wow.
I have some bad luck.
Only in solo queue.
It's the adventure of solo queue.
Oh, man.
But, you try and play it and not get too mad. I love it because I love the game type. It's my favorite game type. It's simple, but, I like that. It doesn't matter if I lose 10 in a row. I would still play it anyway. I'm not going to rage quit. Although I did one time and went and loaded League of Legends, as we all know.
Oh, yes.
I was immediately back.
So, do you believe people who are in Master Rank and they go into matchmaking, should they or should they not be paired up with Ultra Rank characters? Or do you think only Masters should be matched up with other Masters?
I kind of feel like at Masters rank, you should only be matched with Masters. That should be a breaking point where you've finally gotten up to that, and you shouldn't. The thing is, I've played, I hate to say it, I've played with people that are in the lower ranks that were fantastic players and better than some that I see in Masters. So I know that's not really a judge of how good someone is, but I do feel like that's something hard to earn. A lot of people never make it to Masters, and once you're there, I feel like that should be its own separate matchmaking. Also, my main thing is I want solo queue and having teams, whether it's duo, trio, I want those separate. If you're solo queue, I want it to be every single person on your team is in solo. I don't know. I just feel like, and I want its own ranking system. I want a Wigglytuff ranking for solo players. It's your solo ranking. It's what you've gotten playing solo, because that is very significantly different than if you're playing on a 5-stack and that's all you ever play. You play 5-stack.
True.
That's different statistics and it's a different way of playing, and I want they should have 2 separate rankings. A lot of games do have that. I don't know why they didn't think to do that. I think you should have 2 separate rankings. Again, the people that are top number 1 at, they're the ones that are on teams. Yes, that's great. You found people to play with, and of course you're going to do well if you're communicating and playing 5 together. But I just think it's different than going in solo. It's a rough with no communication. I think this comes from playing Call of Duty for 8 years or whatever, and playing team games, like objective games. Domination was my thing, and I was always top 500 every game. Most of the games of each of the games I played of Call of Duty. But when you're at that high a level, you don't need communication. Everyone knows where to be. People are just go and do what they're supposed to do. We don't need communication. I think sometimes playing solo queue without that communication, it's forcing you to be more observant. What is your lane mate doing, and having to, versus I think when you're a 5-stack, it's a little easier because you've got the communication. You kind of have your role. I don't know. It's definitely different gameplay. No, it's challenging.
If you're in a voice chat with your team, I mean, definitely way easier to call out things happening on the fly, for sure.
Right.
So then, let me ask you this. Since you're saying master ranks should only be partnered up with other master ranks, assuming you're in solo queue, what if you want to play with a friend who's perhaps an ultra rank, but they're good? So what? They shouldn't be able to team up together unless they're both master rank?
That's what's so hard. I mean, I know people want to play with their friends. I mean, there is... But the thing is, there is the regular, non-ranked
standard
play. Standard. That can be, I mean, if you want to go for fun, but I know that's not helping your friend rank up. I don't know how. It's like, I see it from both ways. Sure, I want to help somebody and help my friend try to level up and go with them. But then sometimes I think maybe there should be that cutoff. That's a different matchmaking thing because you've made it to a certain level. I don't know. I'd probably take that back because, like I said, I've played with people that were really fantastic, that were only veteran. Maybe they just don't play that much, but they're good players. Maybe they have experience in some of the more complicated MOBAs, so this is super easy for them. And it doesn't mean they're a bad player. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you can win with it, with matchmaking. It's just a mess all the time. Every now and then I get this amazing team with no communication. It looks like we're a 5-stack and everyone just moves in sync. And it's like, this is what it should be. But it's so rare. Usually it's trying to ping people, please come here, and nobody comes.
Dang. Is there anything else that you would give feedback on this game?
They just got to figure out something. Oh, penalties. They need worse penalties for people that leave matches and AFK. That needs to be a harsher. They can't be the negative 10 points and then they're back the next day.
Oh yeah, I've had people leave.
And I get it. Some people disconnect. I've disconnected twice before. It sucks. You try and connect back in and try and, help them. But, it's such a quick match. You've missed a third of the match by the time you get back in. And that happens. And I wouldn't want somebody penalized because of that. But I'm talking about somebody who constantly, on their record, they are AFKing multiple times, frequently. They need a harsher penalty. Because obviously, either I'm sorry, you got a bad connection or something. If you're disconnecting that much, you just cannot play that game because you're hurting 4 other players every time. But I don't think it's not that. People get rage quit and they leave the game. And I just think there needs to be bigger penalties for that. In Dota, they have low priority queue. You get reported and you get so many, points against you. You get put into a pool and your matchmaking is with all the other people that are also in trouble for that. And I don't know how you have to win so much before you get out of that. That's what I'd like to say.
They're in a
I want a low priority queue where all the AFKers can AFK each other.
It's a cesspool of AFKers. Oh
yes.
Gosh. That's actually brilliant. I like that idea. Wow.
I think that's a good penalty. You're forced to play with other people that have done the same thing you have.
I like that.
And you basically can't get out until you start learning to cooperate and finish matches. I don't know. Maybe that's the answer. I don't know. I don't see Nintendo doing that though.
Well, it's made by a different company, but hopefully they, I don't know, look into that. Well, every now and then they do surveys. Wanted to know what the people think. So that's nice that they listen to the feedback.
It's like an essay is what I submit usually.
Oh, really?
I know. But that's everyone's complaint is matchmaking.
Right.
It's just really brutal. Solo queue is brutal. But that's why I don't think it should be matched up to people that are playing on teams. That's a completely different game you're playing.
Who is your favorite Pokemon?
Because I played the Pokemon cards in the very, very beginning when they came out, Charizard's still my favorite, I would have to say.
Nice.
Occasionally I play Charizard, but I'm not the best player yet. I've played way too much Wigglytuff. And I forget that I can't just run in and sing everyone to sleep.
All right. Let me ask you one last question. What Pokemon would you want playable in Unite?
I don't think I know enough to know. I think they already have the ones I was familiar with because Gen 1 is really all I know.
But you've also played the trading card game. Is any Pokemon coming to your mind?
I don't think Creamy would make a good Pokemon. My favorite one in the trading card games. I don't know. Entei.
SpinningNova, thank you so much for this interview. I wish you the best of luck on the leaderboards. And
when are you going to make it to Masters? Come with me.
No. Anyway, you can check out SpinningNova at twitch.tv/SpinningNova and check out her Pokemon Unite streams. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.